Merry Christmas. Howdy there. And perhaps you watched my other video about how to take the packages of Excel themes that I got from BlakeRMills MetBrewer to use in Excel, but I only picked 9 out of the very many themes that he's put so far on his GitHub. Maybe you wanted to use one of the other palettes that he's put up there and want to know, well, how do I grab these colors for myself to use in an Excel theme, and how do I make my own Excel theme? So I'm going to show you how to do that. So first, let's start with how you're going to get those colors. And I'm going to show you how I got these colors. This is not the tool I used, but I'm showing you a free tool that you can use. The tool I used, you have to pay for. It's part of a larger suite. So I'm going to show you a single use tool that all it does is grab colors or tell you colors from web pages. It's eyedropper. Eyedropper.org is the place. It does a Chrome extension and it will pick colors from web pages. I have the Chrome extension right here. Doop, 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 doop. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to do this on the Lakota palette here. It's got 6 colors, so you can do 6 accent colors, accent 1 through accent 6 for a theme. There are some other colors you can play with, but I recommend leaving the other colors alone and just play with accent 1 through accent 6. Those will be the ones that affect like colors for lines on graphs and markers and that kind of thing. Colors will be interpolated and extrapolated from those 6 accent colors. So let's figure out these 6 Lakota colors, and let me enable here. You're going to let me do the color picker. I want to pick a color from the web page. Okay, here we go. And you'll see, okay, there's a little square that has that blue, the turquoise, and you'll see in the lower right-hand corner, there's a couple things. You'll see RGB and a triplet. That's red, green, blue. So the red is 0, the green is 164, and the blue is 194. But that's not what I write down. It's a lot easier for me to write down the hexadecimal number that is equivalent to that triplet, which is above with that hashtag or pound sign with the 00. So 00 is the red. There's no red in this. A4 in hexadecimal is equivalent to 164 in decimal. And then C2 for 194. So the green is A4 and the blue is C2. So that's going to be my color number 1. I'm just writing this down on a piece of paper. The yellow is, so for number 2, I've got FB, BD, 00. For number 3, red, let's take a look. And this is hardly a surprise, A0, 00, 00. And when you're doing in this system of making color for RGB, and we're mixing light. We're not mixing pigment, we're mixing light. So for red, like a pure red, the green and the blue is going to be at 0. If everything's at 0, you have black. If everything is at 255, which would be FF in hexadecimal, it's going to be white on the screen. If R, G, and B are all Fs. So it's FF, FF. FF is white. All zeros is black. So for a red, you want that as high as possible. This is not as bright a red as it can be. It's a little dark, so 160, that's not too bad. So orange is 234, so EA in the red. Green is 71, that's 113. And then there's no blue. Okay, for an orange. But for the green, there's a little bit of the blue. So we've got 00, no red for green, not a problem. 7D, and then 7 and the letter D, and then 31. And then for our final one, there's a little bit of red in this one, but not much. 1, D, then I have 1F, not much red or green, just a little bit, and then some blue. Okay, 94. So I'm going to use these 6 hexadecimals to enter into Excel. If you look, I already have one of my custom themes up here, Isfahan 1, and you see my different custom colors. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say customize colors, and I'm going to call this Lakota. There's already colors in here. I'm going to start with accent 1. I'm going to click on more colors. You'll see I could do the red, green, blue, but I prefer doing the hex. So for color 1, I've got 00A4C2. And I hit OK. That's for the first one. And that's our turquoise, remember. So for our second one, I have FBBD00. Okay, that's our yellow. Then for number 3, this better be number 3. 3 is A0. This should be a red. 0000. Yeah, that kind of dark red. Then for number 4, we've got our EA7100. And that's our orange. Then I have 007D31. That's the green. And then for our final, I've got 1D, 1F, 5E. Okay. Okay, so I did that in accent 1 through accent 6. Save. So those are our Lakota colors. I saved the colorway as a custom color, and when we go back over here, you see the colors I had already put in. Here's Lakota. I will note, so in the MetBrewer page, he has in each entry whether or not, if it's colorblind friendly according to his code, I haven't checked it myself, it mentions that. This is not a colorblind friendly set of colors palette. So just remember, colorblind friendly, it's not the specific colors, it's a combination of colors. And it's more of like, so for example, this red, this orange, and this yellow, those are actually these kind of colors in combination. It's probably the green that makes this fail, the green plus the turquoise. In the Greek theme, it actually works because you have a kind of spectrum of these reds and oranges, and you can tell them apart through saturation, lightness, darkness, that kind of thing. But when you have like this green is probably looking similar to maybe the red or the orange for certain kinds of color blindness, that's going to be a problem. Then after we've saved that colorway, then let's save this current theme among our themes as Lakota. And yes, these are different file types. So the color set is going to be an XML file. This theme is going to be its own kind of file type. And what's great is you can use these themes for PowerPoint, for Word, for Excel. You know, it's kind of nice. You can use it across the Office suite. Again, I prefer to use these in Excel. I'm mainly doing graphs and that kind of thing, but I can do it in Word and that kind of thing. And you can get a particular look, but I can switch it to Greek. So now you can see what it looks like in Greek. Go back to Hokusai 3. I like Hokusai 3. So we've got our... So notice I can do it under colors, but it's also doing it over here in themes. So here I go back to Lakota. And then I can say, oh, I prefer Isfahan. Okay. In any case, you don't have to depend on me to do themes anymore. You can use eyedropper to pull whatever colors you want. You don't have to depend on MetBrewer. He got inspired by looking at other people's projects to develop palettes out of pictures they found beautiful, inspiring, pictures of nature that they like. I like Blake's idea of looking at great art that you find beautiful, something that you look at an artist and you find something aesthetically pleasing and say, hey, maybe it's the way the colors work together. And in this case, for Lakota, let's just switch back to Lakota for a moment. I really like the way this very beautiful piece of clothing looks and the beadwork and against the they didn't pick out the color of the leather, but that's okay. But the beadwork, I will just say, and I'm just going to go down to the bottom here. I'm doing this in Excel. You can make nicer looking graphs in Excel than you already are. That's fine. But R does have a lot more flexibility. You can make these continuous palettes, as you can see here. You can do, whatever. With his functionality, you can tell how many colors you want in your palette. You can do all sorts of crazy things with ggplot too that you're not going to be doing with Excel. Excel is not trying to compete with ggplot and trying to compete with R. That's not what they're trying to compete with a more drag and drop kind of, perspective. All that said, don't use it as a crutch that, oh, I have to use the Excel defaults. Fine, make your defaults an Excel theme that's beautiful, or just pick something, but don't dither. Pick something you like. I like the Isfahan one. I like Hokusai 3. And I'm going to use these more for my own graphs rather than definitely not using the Excel default, Office default. Because why? We've got these beautiful themes now. Use them. It's a gift to you. It's free. It's from the Metropolitan Museum of Art. It's from the beauty of ages. Art is for the world. So enjoy it. See ya.